Welcome today. This is Helen Mitchell from the Refresh Experience, founder with very little technical skills, as you can well tell. But usually this goes a lot faster and a lot easier. And today I have the welcome pleasure of doing this live with Charisse Williams, who will be coming up to our retreat face-to-face and in person. Can you believe that?
I know, I'm so happy.
Our community will be so happy to have you. I was sharing in our other little moment that one of the things that I remember very vividly is our community talking about the experience that they did with you at Callaway Gardens and how foundationally transformational it was. And that sometimes when people think about movement and yoga, they're intimidated.
Yeah.
But I always hear our community talk about how you make it easy and you make it fun. And you, the one thing that one member said to me is that you select music that vibes with our soul. So let's talk about, what do you do in that special session, Charisse, with our community? And what will you be doing coming up?
Yeah, so you just brought up so many thoughts. I think for me, when I first got my yoga teacher certification, the place that I did my training, they had an opening for a yoga teacher, just one. So I taught in that slot, and it was a beginner yoga class. And it just so happened that 3 of my most loyal and dedicated students were over the age of 60. And they really trained me in developing a real, accessible, warm, friendly environment. What so many people had told me is that, Charisse, I go to these yoga classes and it says beginner, but it ain't beginner. It's too hard. They're saying all these words in another language super duper fast. So for me, yoga is about the breath. It's about practicing compassion with yourself, non-judgment, non-competitiveness. I like ask my students to say kind and loving things to themselves while they're practicing. And I think that helps people get into a relaxed mind state, that they don't have to force anything. They can take a break whenever they want. They don't have to strive so hard. And I think all of those lessons really translate into life too. So I'm going to be leading one of the kickoff sessions on Friday, yoga outdoors, and I'm constantly observing my students, seeing where they are and seeing how I can make it as accessible and as comfortable as possible to practice.
And I think there were 2 words that you said that just resonated with me. One is accessible. And then the fact that it's really a relationship in the practice that you're having with yourself, not with the person next to you, not with the instructor, not with anyone else in the room. It really is an opportunity for you to really feel, kind of tune in and say, what can my body do today? Because I think one of the things that is sometimes intimidating, and I've heard people say that, especially, people who are either older or not the typical, what people think of as a stereotypical yoga, very thin body, think that they can't do it. And I think that one of the things that our community has opened up to is that you can do it anywhere, and you can do it with any body that you have in this current moment. You don't have to wait until you have what you believe to be the ideal body type to do yoga, because it really is more of a communication with to me, it's more of a communication with your soul. It's not just, whether you have any particular body type. So talk to me about that perception and how you work with finding your students where they are and meeting them there in order to, what's the end game? Like, what do you hope? Yeah. What do you want somebody to walk away from one of your classes?
So you just nailed it, Helen. I'm going to use that. Yoga is about your relationship with yourself, because the word yoga literally means union in Sanskrit. And wow. It's union of mind, body, and spirit, union of words, thoughts, and action, But it's not, yoga doesn't mean exercise, yoga doesn't mean stretch, yoga doesn't mean put your foot behind your leg. So you said behind your head, you said so many things that resonate with me. I think, first of all, you're right. The stereotypical image of someone doing yoga is a very thin person who is super flexible and bendy. I think one of the reasons why people connect with me is that I do not have the stereotypical yoga body that people see. I'm a good size 16. I'm not even the most flexible yoga teacher. So I think, one, if people just literally see an example of someone practicing yoga that looks like the average American body, they're like, okay, I could do this. And then the second thing is that inner dialogue, and I come up with these fun exercises on the spot. But the last time I taught yoga was at my friend's farm. And I told folks we were doing a balancing exercise. So I just had them do it. And then afterwards, I asked them, what were some of the thoughts going through your head? And people said, oh my gosh, I'm terrible at this. Oh my gosh, I'm shaky. I'm falling. I'm not doing it like the person that's next to me. And I asked them, okay, what kinds of thoughts would help you balance? And they were like, stay calm. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm learning. And I said, okay, let's balance on the other foot and think those thoughts. What do you think happened?
They were able to do it.
They were able to do it because of their own inner self-talk. So there's a good saying that we don't do yoga to get good at yoga. We do yoga to get good at life. And I just think what I want people to take away from an experience with me is a couple of things. One, just a deeper connection to the breath, and really having deep gratitude for this thing that sustains us that we can often take for granted. Two, gratitude for whatever the body can do. And I think third, greater compassion and grace and self-love for how we are showing up today in this moment, in this body. That is such a gift.
Absolutely. And so, my passion, my go-to, my everything is joy.
Yeah.
And what is, for you, what is the joy in your yoga practice? What comes for you in terms of the joy of practicing? And I've seen, I follow you, and I've seen a lot of the work, and I've witnessed you in the room. So talk to me a little bit about the joy of Charisse's yoga practice.
Yeah. So I would say the thing that makes yoga most joyful is practicing with other people. Just like anything else. So I think when people are surrounded by friends and people that they care about, and we're breathing together and we're laughing, I think another thing is that people think yoga has to be so serious, like
serious.
Like, we can giggle, we can play. In my classes, I have people partner up and do things together. And it's just that sense that, like, we're all in this together. We're just doing the best that we can. And it's not about perfection. It's about play. It's about practice. So I would say that it's the community and the playful part of it, right? That it's a practice. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's just about exploring and seeing what happens. You know what? Bringing curiosity to it. That's what it is.
Bringing curiosity to it.
Yeah.
That's great. And so I want to share with you that someone said to me that the first time they felt really good in a yoga class was with you. And it was because you were playing India Irie. And that's not a common song that you would hear in, most of the yoga classes that she had gone to. Talk to me about the significance of the music you select, and why do you select what you select?
Yeah. So first of all, I love music a lot. And I really believe that every single thing that we consume, whether it's food, whether it's music, whether it's news, has an impact on us. It's either adding to our spiritual well, or it's taking away. And so I think we can plant ideas in our subconscious by the music that we listen to. I am light. I am not my skin color. I'm not the color of my eyes. I am not the mistakes that I've made. That song has such beautiful lyrics, but I've got I have playlists called Woman Power, my happy music that has like Lovely Day by Bill Withers and Ads by Stevie Wonder. I have playlists to wake up to in the morning and playlists to go to bed at night. I just want to always be feeding my consciousness nutritious
So
food.
I love that. One of the things that we're gonna have as a part of our retreat will be a Spotify playlist. So we are going to be checking in with you to ask you to pick your favorite three. I know it will be difficult, but
Yeah.
your favorite three songs that we're going to say compliments of Charisse. These are the songs that, she listens to, and that the lyrics will bring and nurture such joy and nutrition, yumminess to your soul. So we're excited. And let me tell you a little bit about what we're planning. We did, as everyone did, we pivoted last year and went virtual for our refresh retreat. And so we didn't get to see eyeballs, and we didn't get to have the energy, and we just didn't get to have that deliciousness of being in communion together. And so on the 24th through the 26th of September, we are so looking forward. I'm so excited. I feel like this is the first time I have ever done a retreat. And I'm so glad to be in that place of preparation and thrill. So I want to talk to you about, what do you think will be different this time as you come to us during our retreat? What do you having a feeling about? What's your vibe about having lived through the pandemic and, being back with community? What's your thought?
I am downright giddy, Helen. I am such an extrovert. I love people. This past year and a half has been tough. I just think there's going to be a lot of excitement. I think hugs will be even longer than usual.
Emotions of it all, right?
Emotions of it all. I think there'll be relief. There will be joy. We are, as human beings, whether you're introverted or extroverted, we are social creatures. And I think what is so special about the refresh experience is that it really attracts 100% kind, caring, open-minded women who are just a pleasure to be around. So I think it's going to feel like a pretty special reunion.
Yeah, like a homecoming, like a special time to get back with each other. And of course, we are going to be extremely aware of everyone's safety.
Yeah.
And doing the best for everyone as we move through this, new and crazy and time of really reflection, and then coming out of this on the other side and being together. So we just want to mention that as well. And then before we sort of leave today, I want to talk to you about your book, because I'm hoping that, not hoping, we are planning for us joining with you and talking about your new baby that you birthed. And so we want to hear a little bit about that. And then I want to share with the audience that Charisse will be bringing her baby with her to the retreat, and we will have a special giveaway. I will personally gift one of Charisse's books to someone in our community. We do that with all of the authors who have a book to share. So tell us a little bit about the baby.
Yeah. So it's kind of wild. It's all been a little bit of an out-of-body experience, but we know what was happening in the world in June of 2020, right? In terms of like race-based violence and unrest. And I was literally sitting on my porch after my workout, Helen, and I know this will resonate with you. And I saw the hashtag Black Joy Matters, and then Black Joy is Revolutionary. And I was like, it just made me so happy to kind of follow those threads. And it's like, there are some pretty difficult things happening for us in this country at this moment, but there's also there's a lot of good. a lot of joy. Folks are thriving, and we need to hear more about those stories. So I started searching for those stories, and I literally got a download to write Thriving While Black. In the process, someone else published a book with the same name, so I added joy to it. But the book is about the intersection between Blackness and well-being. And though it's written for a Black audience, it really, anyone can connect to the themes of the book. So I talk about purpose and self-care and rest and joy and resilience. And it just shares a lot of stories. Some of my own stories, those of my interviewees. I have stories of like 25 other people in the book. Each chapter has questions for reflection. And it ends with a chapter on really how to coach yourself towards growth and change. So when I got the download to write the book, I think a lot of times we don't realize what the purpose is until it was done. But it really ended up being a self-care practice for me, because when things got hard and dark and lonely, scary, if I looked on my calendar and I had another interview about the joy of thriving while Black, it kind of shifted my focus a little bit. And in the process, I gained new friends, deepened connections with my current friends. It's one thing to know someone, it's another to interview them. And the joy of thriving while Black was born in April of this year. So I'm excited and honored to be able to share it with the Refresh community.
Well, congratulations, Charisse. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for following that nudge to put that out in the world, because sometimes we get ideas and we let them go. And I'm sure you have paved the way for a lot of people in their self-care practice, and at a time where we all need something that we can pull from the shelf or pull from wherever we need, whether it's music, art, gardening, whatever it might be that brings your soul just a little bit of joy. In this time right now, we could all use that. So I want to say thank you for putting that out in the world. Thank you for being who you are and what you do in the space. I always feel good in your presence. I just, I love what you stand for, and I love what you do, and I love the way you do it. So I am excited to have you with the Refresh community. Again, things work out. You know, this was sort of a second, kind of, to be quite transparent, a second wave of you coming to join us. And oh, what a great thing it has been. And I just want to say thank you for that. September 24th through the 26th at the Hilton Marietta Conference Center, right here in town. You don't have to go far. 100 women, like-minded, beautiful souls will be together. We'll be breaking into small groups. We'll be using the outdoors. We'll be writing. We'll be reflecting. We'll be doing things a little bit different from what you have seen, but yet we'll still have that common bond of purpose, intention, and power, and reset. What is it that you need to reset in your life? And I just want to say thank you, Charisse, for joining me today. And can't wait to see you, hug you, and be with you this September. Not very long from now.
Not very long. I want to thank you too, Helen, for following the nudge to create all of this. It's really one of the greatest gifts that one can bring to the world, is the opportunity for folks to come together. So I'm really grateful for you.
Thank you so much. I want to share a book that someone shared with me, and it might bring something to you. It's called The Art of Gathering. The beauty of gathering, the energy of gathering, and that where we are gathered, there's so much power and so much change and support and love that can be witnessed. And we've seen that in our retreats. We never know like where it's going to go, or how the room is going to fill with the spirit, and how we're going to take the information that we get from the resources who come. We're just touched in so many different ways. And I think that's because it really is our soul being awakened to what it is that it needs. And I am so grateful for you to be able to help us supply that and to support that. So see you very soon. Take care of yourself. Love you so much. Bye. And we'll see you at the retreat.
Thank you so much, Helen. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.